Bloomington, Indiana. We're at halftime, and Indiana leading Kentucky by the score of 43-36. And to this point for Steve Alford, 8 points, but his shot is back on target and bouncing back from his performance Tuesday night against Notre Dame. And what a magnificent one-year stretch it has been for Steve Alford. Spectacular freshman season, stardom in the Olympics. Al had a chance to spend some time with Steve.
That when you become a superstar, before your time, you become a superstar because of the Olympics. You would have hit this in your junior, senior year, but not in your sophomore year. The Olympics did that. I don't know why I'm saying that, but that's what I think happened.
Yeah, I've still got a lot of things to learn. I'm a young player, and I think a lot of people fail to realize that I'm just a sophomore. And
how old are you now?
I turned 20 just 3 days ago. It was Friday that I turned 20. So I'm hoping I'm just coming into my own, and I've got a lot of experience under my belt now, and I'm hoping that this year I can really prove some things.
Steve, what do you remember most about the Olympics?
The overall experience playing with Michael Jordan and Perkins and the Robertsons, the Flemings was just a tremendous experience and can only help my game.
You get to the foul shot. Now, I believe you were the best in the country percentage-wise last year. What do you do when you step to the line, in practice or in the game? What goes on in your head? As
I step to the line, I rub my socks, then I go to my shorts, and then I receive the ball. And if the official is backing up or saying something to another player, then I back off the line and then go to the line and do the same thing again. I don't want to have any interruptions. I do the exact same thing on every free throw, and I think a free throw has to become a ritual.
You know, my son played for me in college, and you played for your dad in high school. What was the most difficult thing?
I think the most difficult thing for me to begin with was calling him coach on the floor. I remember I experienced my freshman season. I was brought up to the varsity level my freshman year, and I was shooting around with one of our veteran players who was a junior at the time, one of our better players. And we were just joking around while we were shooting around before practice, and I looked over at Dad and I said, "Dad." And he looked at me and he said, "What'd you call me?" And I said, "Dad." He said, "From now on, you call me Coach."
Well, I look back, and probably the thing that sticks in my mind, I know as a freshman, he averaged 1 point a game, and I got booed every time I put him in the game. And as a senior, he averaged 37 points a game, and I got booed every time I took him out of the game. So I saw the peaks, and I saw the valleys, and he was very fortunate to play at the school that he played at, because Newcastle was very good to him, and Newcastle was a very good basketball community.
Your youngest son, Sean, what a tough position to be in. What's he going to do?
I don't know. It's a tough situation for him, but we're very proud of him from the standpoint that he has handled the situation so well.
I love Sean to pieces. He has really grown up the last 2 years. I mean, people come to the house and he answers the door and, "Where's Steve? Where's Steve?" And the phone rings and he answers it, "Where's Steve? Where's Steve? We don't want to talk to you." And some people can be really rude in doing that.
I'm told that Steve gave you his gold medal.
He did. It was a very, very heartwarming, very touching situation for me. I think everyone knew it except good old Dad, but it was a situation where I think Steve always has a goal to win a state championship, and he never got it done, and this was his way of saying thanks, Dad. And Steve sat on the bench with me since he was 3 years old. He only missed 2 games from the time he was 3 until he graduated in high school. So he was a young man that basketball was definitely a way of life with Steve.
Al, your son, Ali, played for you at Marquette University. How difficult was that for you?
It was extremely difficult for him. I wanted him to call me Dad rather than Coach. But if my son did not play for me, he would have became a pro if he went to any other school.
Why do you say that?
Well, because he would have had other opportunities and not the pressure of a father as a coach. And I thought that he tried at all times to be a team player without ever being selfish or individual.
So you ever discussed that with him?
Well, we never discussed it, but I'm very proud of him. It started a great love affair.
All right, we're at halftime, and Indiana leads Kentucky 43-36. Tomorrow, another big day of football here on NBC. For a preview, let's go to Bob Costas in New York.
Thanks, Marv. Tomorrow on NBC, a lot of NFL action, and much of it has playoff implications. Here's a preview of some of the more important games you'll see tomorrow on NBC.
Our coverage begins with these regional games at 1 Eastern Time, including Cleveland at Pittsburgh. The mere sight of Three Rivers Stadium makes the Browns shudder. They're 0-14 there. Pittsburgh is 7-7, a game in front of Cincinnati in the AFC Central. Of Mark Malone's 15 touchdown passes, 10 have gone to this man, the veteran John Stallworth. A week ago at Cleveland, Paul McDonald twice hit Brian Brennan for Browns touchdowns, and it looked as if Cincinnati would be knocked out of the race. But the Bengals rallied late in the game. This block punt was part of it, and they're still alive in the AFC Central. They play today at New Orleans. If the Steelers and Bengals wind up tied at 8-8, the division title will belong to Cincinnati. Later in the day, San Diego is at Denver. The Broncos have lost 2 in a row, and they trail Seattle by 1 game in the AFC West. But if John Elway and company can win tomorrow and then prevail next Saturday in Seattle, they'll claim the title in the AFC West. And that'll be cause for a Butch Johnson celebration. So we hope you'll join us tomorrow. Our coverage begins with NFL 84, and on the pregame show, Bill McAtee will take a look at the suddenly hot race in the AFC Central. Ahmad Rashad visits with the man who might be the new single-season rushing record holder, Eric Dickerson of the Los Angeles Rams. He might go past O.J. Simpson's 1973 total of 2,003 yards. And you won't want to miss this. We'll pay a visit to Casino Axthelm. That's all tomorrow on NFL 84. We'll return to Bloomington, Indiana, and rejoin Marv Albert and Al McGuire right after these messages from your local stations.